Hi guys! For today's tutorial, we'll be working on a simple granny square, and I'm going to use just my white yarn and a 5mm hook for this. You can use any yarn or hook of your choosing. To begin with the tutorial, we are going to take the tail from the yarn and lie it behind our fingers. I'm going to hold it in place with my thumb. And I'm going to loop this yarn around my 3 middle fingers. I'm going to loop the yarn so that it forms kind of an X behind my fingers or on top of my fingers. And I'm going to take my hook and slide it underneath this front piece, and I'm going to hook this back piece. I'm going to pull the back piece underneath this front piece. While I'm pulling it, I'm going to turn my hook so that it loops this yarn onto my hook through the circle. Now we have our magic circle created. We will go ahead and work 3 single crochet, and these 3 single crochet will act as our first double crochet. We'll now do 2 more double crochet into the magic circle. Now we have our first cluster of 3. We need 4 of these. So to go to our next one, we are going to do a single crochet. This is going to create the spaces for our corners, and we will work our next set of 3 double crochet into the circle. This is 2 and 3. And again, we will do a single crochet to allow that corner space before doing another 3 double crochet. And then we'll go into our last set of 3. And our single crochet. Now that we have our 4 clusters of 3, we're going to pull our tail piece so that we bring our circle together. Now we need to combine these 2 sides, and in order to do that, we are going to slip stitch in to the first stitch here. So this is going to be the top of the single crochets that we did. I'm just going to slide my hook in, and it might be a little difficult depending on how tight you did your stitch. So be patient. If it's a little difficult, you'll yarn through, and then you're going to yarn through again. And we've got our tiny square formed here with our 4 corners that we're going to continue to work into. And we're going to continue to work into this until we have our desired size. I always turn my work when I'm doing granny squares because that ensures there's no right or wrong side. And then I'll begin by doing 3 single crochet up. I am going to do my 2 additional double crochet into the same corner. and this is going to form the first half of my corner. We'll complete this corner when we come back around, so for now we'll move into the next corner here, doing 3 double crochet. Now every time we are in a corner space, we are going to do a single crochet in between our cluster of 3 double crochet. So we've done our first cluster of 3 in the corner. We will do a single crochet. This will create the corner and turn our work. And then we'll do another 3 double crochet into this same corner spot we just worked in. We're jumping into the next corner here with 3 double crochet. Doing a single crochet to create our corner and turn our work, followed by another 3 double crochet. Now we'll jump into our next corner again by doing 3 double crochet. Turn the work with a single crochet and then another 3 double crochet into the same corner you just worked. Now we're back to the first corner we started, and we need to finish our corner and connect our work. So we are going to come back to the first corner we worked in and do 3 double crochet. This is going to complete the second side of our corner. I'll do a single crochet to create the space and turn the work. And from here again, we're just going to slip stitch into this first stitch. Pulling our yarn through. And again, it might be a little challenging depending on how tight you made it. And then we'll pull our yarn through again. Going to turn my work and do 3 single crochet and then my 2 additional double crochet in the same corner that we just formed. Now this process is pretty much going to repeat itself until we have the desired size. We are going to come to a center here, and we are just going to work 3 double crochet into this spot. Because this is not a corner, we are not going to do any single crochet. We will just do our cluster of 3 and then move on to the corner. Here we will do our cluster of 3, followed by our single crochet and another cluster of 3 in the same corner we just worked. Again, once we come to this center piece, we will just do 3 double crochet. No need to do a single crochet because this is not a corner. Once we have our cluster of 3, we will move into the next corner. Single crochet to do our turn, and then another 3 double crochet into the same corner we just worked. You'll notice that we've now formed 2 center pieces. So when we go around again, we'll do a cluster of 3 in each before we go to our corners. So we're going to keep growing, and each time we finish a round, we're going to add another space as the square continues to grow. And it's just going to repeat itself. You can feel free to change colors in between rounds if you desire, or if you're like me, feel free to use a color changing yarn so you can get the fun of the colors changing without actually having to stop and change your colors. We will go ahead and finish out this round doing our last 3 double crochet in this corner. We'll come to this piece here, do our cluster of 3. And then we'll finish our first corner by working into that first corner space that we created. We will join these sides, creating our corner space with a single crochet, and then coming into the first stitch that we made with our slip stitch. Again, we're just going to keep repeating this process, turning our work, working our clusters of 3 into each center space, and then working our corners. You can do this until you get your square to your desired size, or you could even work out one single square until it is the size of a blanket. Once you are finished with your work, you'll go ahead and tie off here. So we'll pull out our circle, we'll take our scissors, leaving a tail that we can weave in, and we'll go ahead and take the tail, pull it through our hoop here, and tie this off. Now we could use this as a coaster, we could make many more to form a blanket, or we could go ahead and keep this as a sample for a yarn that we might want to use for another project. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Definitely subscribe to my page for more tutorials for beginners. I'll be posting one each week here. And if there are any other tutorials that you would like to see, make sure you drop that in the comments.